today's show, I put together 3 recipes that I think will make for a very nice festive meal around this time of year. The first thing is light salmon croquettes. It's a wonderful main dish, and that's something that you can add with green vegetables and potatoes. But on this show, I'm going to show you how to make potato knishes. And that can be either a side dish or it can be an appetizer. And then the dessert will be a hearty apple cake. So I'm going to begin with the apple cake because it takes an hour and a half to bake. And what you have here are all the ingredients for the cake. 3 large apples, and for this show I'm doing Fuji apples. It can also be Cortlands. And a mixture of cinnamon and sugar, and you'll see how I work that because I have to slice them up, quarter them, and get them blended in with the cinnamon and sugar. Then we have the ingredients of the oil, orange juice, and eggs, which will go into the blender first. And then all the dry ingredients, the flour, the sugar, and the baking powder, go in on the top. And then you'll see how with this machine it will blend beautifully. So I'll start out first with the pan. And what I need to do is spray it. Now you quarter them. Now you add the cinnamon and sugar. And set it aside. Check it to make sure it's well blended, and it is. And now's when the fun starts. We start with this, and layer it every other. First the dough, the batter, and then the apples, and end up with the batter. Make sure that the apples lay flat. It may look messy, but when it comes out, I'll show you what the finished product looks like too. I'm going to put this in for 85 minutes, 350-degree oven. Start it on 60 minutes and then check it just to make sure if it's browning. You have to take and put a little light Reynolds wrap over the top for the next 25 minutes. But I'd like to show you how it comes out. And when it cools, you can make sure your confectioner's sugar container is tight, and decorate it just on the top. This cake freezes well, and I also want to show you what the slices look like. So this is called Hearty Apple Cake, and it really is, as you can see, it is hearty, heavy, and tasty. Try it. The potato knishes might seem a little intricate, but I want to show you the ingredients first and how we break it up with the dough, the filling, and of course we have to fry up some onions. The first major ingredient are the russet potatoes. And then we have an onion that we're going to dice up and fry, mix it in with the potatoes. The melted margarine will also go into the mix. And then we have an egg that is also part of the menu, and some garlic powder. This is the wash. It's an egg and water wash. We use canola oil for the fried onions. And then this is the shortening. 8 ounces of shortening, ice water, and I usually put in an ice cube, which has since melted a little, and then flour, sugar, and salt. Those are the major ingredients for the knishes. First thing I'm going to do for the potato knishes is to take and slice a thin cut around each potato. That cooks for 25 minutes, and by slicing it, you can actually peel it very easily after it's cooked. But I do have to put it in an ice water bath. So I do have the ice here, but I'm not going to put it in just yet. I'm going to work on the dough now. The dough is a very simple process. Again, I use this wonderful mixer, and I'm putting the dry ingredients last. First thing that goes in is the margarine or shortening. Just check it, make sure it's blended. Looks good. Never touch the blade, always use a spatula. I learned the hard way. The dough mixed great. But what you need to do, if you see how I'm taking it out, it's a little soft. Ready-made dough. And I thought that it would be good to start rolling it out while the other dough can refrigerate. And you need to take and dust your board lightly. And it's a lot of dough. You need to take and cut it in half. Do 1/2 at a time. There. Set that aside. Very easy to work with. Now, I just want to take and use this. And I'm just going, because I'm waiting for the potatoes, I'll just lay these on a floured board. And see how they stretch easily? You'll see how it works up. I use every last piece of dough. I'm going to be making the fried onions that go into the mix. So we add some canola oil, and you put that canola oil with the fried onions into the mix. So don't drain it. You take an onion, quarter it, and again in half. Two short bursts and it's done. You see a few big pieces, you can always just pick them out. Most of them are the right size. And they really need to be dark golden brown. If you start to see them getting too dark around the edges, push them in and move the others out. There you have it. Take the onions and the oil and transfer them to a little dish. I'm coming over here to the potatoes, and I think they're pretty well done. The slit that I made is definitely quite obvious. You'll see when I take them out. See how there's a big line. That's the garlic powder. And some salt. Save this for last. Don't mix it yet. watch and make sure that the egg is blended in. Check it and make sure the potato chunks are all blended in. Looks great. And this is when you add the onions, but only just a couple of pumps on the machine. You don't want the onions to get ground up. You want to see them. Now, the batter is still a little bit warm, so it's best if you let it cool and chill, and it makes it more manageable when you use it as a filling. So I'm going to set this aside, and I have another batter that I will use for this purpose. So here it is, and you'll see that it is sturdier, like so. So that's what we're going to begin to do now. The first thing that we have to do is make sure that every time we use this, we add a little bit of oil. So you oil each piece. And you need a rag or a cloth to keep wiping off the fingers. It closes beautifully. You don't need flour, you don't need anything. It pinches together, makes a beautiful dough. Now, before you put them in the oven, need to do that egg wash. Bakes for about 25 minutes till it's golden, and it's pretty well brown on the bottom, but just a golden brown on top. Here are the knishes, cooled and ready to serve, and I'll take one, show you how it's nicely browned, golden on top, and then, like they say, the proof is in the pudding. This is what it looks like. And our light main dish, salmon croquettes, and this is how easy it is to make it. calls for a small onion, so just so long as you get the flavor. I don't want the grater to get my nails, so I'll stop right here. It's plenty. Take out any big pieces. Then add your breadcrumbs. And garlic powder, about a teaspoon. Then you can use your fingers at the end just to make sure everything is really kneaded in. Now, you can take different sizes, but I prefer the larger size. The minis are nice, even as an appetizer. Now around this time, they probably are browning, so I'm going to stop, check it out. Perfect. And there are your lovely salmon croquettes. Here's the meal, and it's a meal that you can use any time of the year, whether it's a festivity or just a little family gathering. You have your apple cake, beautiful salmon croquettes patties, and the potato knishes. Try them, let me know how you like it.